Hey guys, what's up? Appreciate my style today. It's a new fashion and I'm starting the trend. That's what happened to my glasses. Some of you loved them, some of you guys hated them, but I made many of my videos in these glasses, and this is probably the last uh, fashion show for them because I lost the lens last week at the yeah, it's a pirate glass. That's right, Gino. I lost I almost had an eye, but I lost the lens from these glasses last weekend at the skiing place. So unless I play a sunny pirate, these are going to the history. But guys, I want to wish you happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're recharging for the week and starting your week right. And today I want to talk about labels. Many of you have seen the video I have posted earlier on this page. That video I posted a video on this page with a man who was sharing his life story of overcoming many obstacles as a child, and it was very powerful video. I don't quite remember the name of it, but all of you guys who follow me on Facebook here, you can scroll down just a couple posts, and I actually watched it several times because I thought it was a powerful presentation. It's about the guy who, as a little kid, was forced to, feed horses early in the morning, doing chores. But most of all, these men were never recognized or appreciated by his father. It was very, it seemed to be extremely demanding, that his dad was extremely demanding, and his son felt like the only way he could get his attention is through hard work. He had never played with him or did anything fun as parents we're trying to do, but the only thing that he could connect with his dad sometimes is through work and through helping him doing something. But most of all, he created that feeling of not being enough and just keep work hard. So in this way, trying to earn some of his dad's love or some of his dad's appreciation. And I really want to connect this with Russian and Ukrainian culture as well. A lot of times, not in every family, guys. Sorry. Son always finds me somehow. Not in every family, not with every parent, but Russian and Ukrainian culture, or shall I say USSR and post-USSR culture, a lot of times is very humble. Is humble in terms of, to the unhealthy point where your parents would not give you any appreciation and any recognition, so you try to deserve your love so hard. And meanwhile, I really got two great messages out of this video. I hope you guys can watch it too. The real powerful first one was that if you want to have an easy life, you have to work hard. If you do hard things in life, your life would be easy. If you do, okay, I'm gonna say it again. If you're doing hard things in life, you will end up having an easy life. If you do the easy things in life, you will have a hard life. And that makes total sense to me, because when you do what you're supposed to do, when you go for the things that are challenging, it does develop you. So that's still relating to this video. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. you know. When we incorporate in our daily routine difficult things and consistency, eventually life will bring a lot of benefits and a lot of good times. Thank you so much, guys. Adrian, Adrian, thank you. Atterer, Billy Scott, Chuck, Bryce, Gino, everybody else that I can see here. Great to see you guys. Happy Sunday. I missed you, and I just really want to come out today and talk about this. So, but let's talk about the second thing that I thought was super powerful in this video, and also just in general, the thing about labeling. In this situation, this young man back then, I think he was about 30 years old. He goes back when he was, and he tells how he was getting into real estate and working late nights and staying late. He was in that mode of keeping going and working very hard. And when somebody came, I'm sorry to hear that. Gino is saying, I remember waiting for my father to visit me, but he never showed up. You know, I'm sure you could resonate to that video. And even I could in certain ways, in terms of praise. It's very interesting thing about, you know, USSR, post-USSR culture. Our parents don't really praise us, even to these days. I mean, it depends on the family, I guess. I know some friends that have parents that shows their love more freely, but overall, you know, overall it's very kind of strange. People holding back. It's hard to say whether they're holding back or they really think that something is, you know, something is wrong with you. Like he told to his son when he helped him out and did all these things for him, he told him that he can't think anything he was proud of, you know. Yeah. So what I want to say, guys, about coming back, where this man worked late nights and he just, you know, making his way into it. He's learning, he's building his life, his career, and his first mentor comes and he knocks on the door, and, you know, he sees him working and he says, hey, you have great work ethics, you know, you are, you know, there are many great things about you. And that guy was like, are you talking to me? Because there was nobody else in the room. So talking about labels, I think when you underappreciated when you're a child, or maybe where you are getting out of a relationship, you know, you are given labels. Either they people speak them out, or they treat you a certain way, and we are getting used to that. You know, if your parents were you know, mad at you and often scolding you, sometimes you can be by your own in the room, but you will keep scolding yourself for certain things. And same thing with labels. Either labels from our childhood, when our parents, you know, would tell us, you know, you're not this, you're not that, you know, you're messy, you're dumb, or, you know, guys, it was just, I did not grow up here in US, but I'm just telling you that even our teachers in school would tell us things that they probably would be in jail here for saying that. It definitely didn't help to build the confidence, and at the same time, it's kind of give you the tough start. And some of you guys were asking me, where do Slavic people get the strong core? And I think part of it is that many of us were not really praised by the parents. We're not babied, so we kind of like push through, and knowing that we have to do it, we have to make it. We can't just relax and hope for the best. You know, we don't have welfare in Ukraine. So, you know, welfare, not mental, not physical, not financial. So that, I would see the part of it as a strong core. And it has a lot of downsides because kids need love as air and water and sun, but the positive outcome of it, if I can tell, is the strength to push through obstacles and to be strong. But on the other hand, I really want to talk about labels, and those labels that very often we are subconsciously we keeping them, we calling ourselves those labels, and very often those are unfair labels that not even true. And very often we are gifted these labels when we are completing the relationship, when relationship either it's personal, with somebody you were in a relationship with, or I don't know, maybe some friendships or something coming from family. Very often in the moments of despair of some people, when we don't act like they want us to act, we kind of we are gifted, quote unquote, with a bunch of labels, and somehow our conscience stick to those labels. And sometimes you catch yourself many years later looking at yourself as a little boy or a little girl, although you accomplished things and you did things and you don't no longer need to prove. You have people in your lives that love you unconditionally. You have friends and people who respect you, your co-workers. They know who you are, they know your effort, they choose to see you from a wider perspective. But we have to remember that it's not other people's job to see us from the best perspective. It is only our job to see us from a different perspective, from the best perspective, and to reprogram those old labels. What is this question about whether I cook sushi? Guys, I wonder sometimes, really. I'm trying to bring a message, and it's just really, that is very disappointing when I see questions like this. That's all I can say. So, you try to make a live video and you try to give a message, and somebody asks you if you cook sushi. I mean, you serious about this? In that video, guys, you had seen how his mentor told him that, what character do you like? And it was Clint Eastwood, and he said, I like him, he's ruggedly handsome. And he asked, how that makes you feel, ruggedly handsome? He said, it makes me feel really good. And so he started calling himself ruggedly handsome. He was driving. Guys, I can so much see that and understand. And I think all of us, we have that one thing or maybe more that we really need to put attention to and relabel it and reprogram it, and it's nice sometimes to get a fresh perspective from somebody. And I see nothing wrong if you go and maybe you work with professional therapist or a relationship coach, or I don't know, go to some trainings or personal development and work those things through. I think it's worth the investment of time and effort, because what if you can reprogram your whole life by deleting completely your old labels, the labels that is not defining you, and you can write your own definition of you, because you know who you are, and you have to carry it. You have to be very determined about that, because I think very often we are also wounded after our previous relationships, and there are words like loser, weak, incapable. I don't know. There can be a number of many words that we can talk, even subconsciously. These things can hold us from a better life, better people. Sometimes we like playing a tape the offensive things that person from our past relationship, for example, tell us, or kept telling us, or maybe told us on the last day of the relationship where they had nothing to lose and their goal was really to hurt us, but the things that they said were not even the truth. And we keep ourselves in playing the tape, and it's a great way to become crazy. It's a great way to just really stay stuck and develop all these depressive anxiety moods, and not being able to move on to something greater and better. I really think that when we want to move on to something great and better, we have to reprogram our mind, because whatever program we had, the result, the place we are right now is a result of that programming in our head. I can tell you guys, just like every other human, once in a while when I analyze some thoughts, I am looking at myself, no, I'm not a helpless little girl. I have some people in my life that look at me like that sometimes, and there is, maybe 10-15 years I was. But now I got my own voice, doing my own thing, working on myself, number one. I've learned to concentrate less on what's wrong with others, and learn to not give labels to others, but kind of see the whole picture of, what people really are. And I work with many people, and once in a while I hear these phrases from men. Well, I would agree for just about any relationship, because, well, I am a middle-aged, overweight or fat. I would hear that, man, and anything is good for me. So when we are, this is how we carry ourselves and what we believe in. It's very hard for anybody to help us unless we decide we want to reprogram our minds and change these labels for our strong sides and put attention on those. There is not a single person in this world that is absolutely perfect and have all the high characteristics on everything, but we love people because of their unique qualities, and we have to kind of be smart marketers of ourselves, first of all to ourselves, because if you don't believe that you are strong and smart and I don't know, kind, hardworking, you can tell yourself those things, but it works much better when you actually connect with your own self and you believe that you are all of the things, and it doesn't matter how people tag you, because maybe these people have not been working on themselves for the last 10 years. So it feels good for them to hold you in an old place and poke on the things you did a long time ago, rather than seeing your progress and seeing how well you've done, and actually decide themselves to change their life for better and become better people. Because one thing, guys, I've noticed, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong, that people who work on themselves very hard and have high standards, they don't have time to notice what's wrong with everybody else. Who is fat, who is thin, who is dumb, who is broke. They don't have time for it. They look at their time as the most precious asset. So they don't have time to criticize. If they pay attention at you, they will tell you something that they notice about you that is inspiring and uplifting. But they're not going to, unless you ask them for constructive critics, maybe you ask about something that's important for you and they're a professional, they're not going to give you any opinions because it's hard work. They get paid for it, for their time. People who are in denial about working on themselves, they find wrong is with everybody else. So that's one of the biggest lessons that I'm learning as well. So yeah, Adrian is saying labels and tags can breed fear of rejection in a labeled person. Yeah, labels and and um and tags definitely can bring fear. You wouldn't even try. If somebody told you, you aren't good enough, you can't get this job, you're not interesting, you're not attractive, in the dating world, you're dumb. So I'm trying to concentrate. I see so many comments. So yeah, these things can definitely hold us back from even trying. When somebody, guys, I have actually a great example. Some people I follow in Ukraine. She is a very wonderful person. She is a great psychologist, but she's also on the media right now, and she was very, very overweight. I mean, very, very, in Ukraine, it would be, I don't know, like size 18 maybe or so. So it's, I don't know. And, she was offered to play, Dancing with Stars, the Ukrainian version. She's absolutely beautiful woman. She helped so many people. But in Ukraine, we have this really crazy standard for things, and not everybody is fitting them. And so, her own family told her she can't do it, and they were saying, "Gosh, don't make fun of yourself. Can you imagine yourself dancing? Like, how terrible it's gonna look." And guess what? This year she dropped 20 kilograms, which is about 40 something pounds. She made the show. She took some place. She was absolutely stunning. She learned how to love herself even better, how to challenge herself, and she inspired thousands and probably hundreds of thousands of her followers to do it. And she just did it because she wanted to do it. So we can't listen. Yes, our labels, sometimes they're very unfair, sometimes they are true. When somebody, you're not in that great physical shape, maybe you don't have enough of knowledge, maybe you don't have enough of something else. They could be either fair, looking fair to some people, but unfair. But it doesn't mean that you should not even try. Yeah, I think the main takeaway for me, guys, is that we should always try. We should always try to, not just try, but we should always go for those things. Because what's most amazing thing is that very often we secretly believe or openly believe that these labels are true. We do look down at ourselves. Your self-worth is everything. That is so true, Michael. It's so true. And we don't even go for the things that we actually could be good at. Because we feel kind of hurt when our family or ex-lovers or past boyfriends or girlfriends called us certain names and labeled us, and we kind of, in some ways, we adopted that belief, whether it's true or not, and we believe in it. So we just kind of, these people are gone, but we still keep in those labels inside. And so our responsibility, it's their responsibility that they said it or whatever they did, but it's our responsibility to take charge in it and rewrite the story, or write your dream life. And just I love this exercise when you just take a copybook and you write about yourself as she or he, as a third, how to say this, as if it's a third person. So you kind of write about yourself. You describe what you have and what you want to be, instead of focusing on what people labeled you. Again, people do not have the best vision of us. They only know bits and pieces. So it's our responsibility to create the full picture and to make it amazing. We only have one life. And guys, with all that's going on, we never know what this life is going to end, And we're taking sometimes things for granted. we live in every day like, well, you know, it's a draft, you know, after tomorrow, maybe next month, well, I'll do this, I'll do that. You don't know how much. Thank you, third person writer. Yeah, I think you might be right. So that's what my message today, guys. Sometimes we so much want to get validation, you know, through dating, through the likes and things like that, and it's not a real it's not a real self-worth journey. And I think for those of you, of us here, that had issues with it, it's really a great gift to yourself to actually, you know, work on it, either with yourself or with a therapist, because everything starts with your self-worth. You know, I totally agree with that. And everything starts with the relabeling. Everything starts with relabeling yourself. You would be amazed actually how many things that are not true keeping you down and stopping you from doing the things you really want. I think sometimes analyzing the self-talk, because we talk to ourselves all the time, that's one of the most powerful things that we can do. And sometimes we are so much, you know, of course I have a lot of single guys and divorced guys and I don't know, guys that maybe were recently married but things did not work out or whatever. Maybe they work out, you know, maybe this is how they were supposed to work out. But you have this tape going on because there was pain and offensive things. Unfortunately, many people have these habits. When a relationship is over, we go over the person and tell them everything that's true and that's not, and we get real personal and can hurt. It can really hurt a person for many years. So if you find yourself that you're working hard, you are doing your things, you bring smile to people's faces, you're doing the right thing, you're showing up. Yes, maybe in the past you were the person that were not doing that great. Maybe you didn't know how to solve conflicts. Maybe you were not able to support your families the right way. You made your mistakes. Maybe you had an alcoholic or tobacco or any other bad habits, but you moved on. You know, you fixed that. You are moving on with life. You achieved so much. Nobody has the right to keep you in the old place and keep labeling you. And people absolutely love doing it. When they know your weak spots, when they know you overcome something, very often they are trying to look on you through the old glasses and try to pick on you or kind of hold you as if you are still the person that was into drugs or alcohol, where you are not now, maybe for 10-15 years, and you raised your kids and you build your family and you did all these things. Because everything I'm talking about is real life. As you guys know, I talk to men through the consulting that I do, and very often I see a lot of people that aren't even ready to really go on a dating scene, whether it's in US or going to Ukraine, because they gotta figure out their own self-worth and all these internal issues need to be addressed. And guys, you know, it's an exciting journey, because how amazing it is when you actually feel good about yourself consistently, when you feel good, when you feel present, when you feel that there is so many more things you can do in life, and you hadn't even used your potential. Maybe you were in the wrong relationship. Maybe you had circumstances that you were just kind of very suppressed. So that's why I really think that self-development is a very exciting journey, and it's never too late. And you know, when I do receive letters with the guys that kind of talking about settling, or you know, kind of describing themselves with this kind of low words, you know, it's a complex work, but I think it's a work of a system. It's not just that you change the words. Oh, you know, I'm smart. I don't know. I'm handsome. But you internally change it. You're trying to find different angles to look at yourself, because guess what? You won't be able to love anybody else. You will try to seek some validation from the poor woman you will be dating. So that won't be fun. But most of all, I think it is actually exciting to relabel yourself and put, you know, labels that you want to be. Let's say you are maybe not objectively that's you yet, but you want to be this, you know. It's great to sometimes sit down and write your own story and put all these great adjectives, you know, all these great words that describe you. Think about your best friends, people that loved you. How would they describe you? And do the work, because it's so awesome to live when you're happy, whether you are currently on your own, in relationship, out of relationship, you know, in any city in the world, in any circumstances, but you feel you are in that flow of things. And you can only be in that flow of things if you stop scolding yourself, if you stop telling yourself things that are not true. They are not true, and it's in your power to change that. So guys, that is my Sunday message. I'm sorry I cannot read everybody's comments, because they come and disappear fast, and when I'm in the middle of my sentences, I'm trying to keep it, I'm trying to stay on the point, which is not very easy. So yes guys, on this Wednesday night, if you want to join our VIP Zoom call, let me know. It's Wednesday night, this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I like what Adrian is saying. You're right, people's intuitions about others often turned out to be wrong. Yes, it's very true. It's very true. And also us, we only see a piece of person and we presume the whole thing. So yes. By the way, my next video is going to be about men's intuition, and I'm going to give you guys some clues based on the topics and clients and situations I had in the last couple of weeks. So the next topic is men's intuitions, because we all talk about women's intuition, but let's talk about men's. Yeah, exactly. Michael Jones is saying, if you believe in your negative labels, you will be a negative person in life. Absolutely. And you won't even try to do anything. You won't try to change and go for things. Hey Dave, my hearts are here. So guys, thank you so very much. I wish you a wonderful Sunday. We still have a daylight. I'm going to go work on my labels. I'm gonna we have a short day. It's gym today, so I'm gonna do some get the blood going and enjoy the teeny bit of sunshine we have today. So I hope I did put a little bit of a smile on your face today. I wish you a wonderful Sunday. I will be back soon. Have a wonderful night, Thomas. I'm sorry, Billy Scott, Dave, everybody who joined me today. And if you do want to be a guest on Wednesday night private call, let me know. Have a great day, guys.